Alright guys, here's a bit of a different video for you. Today I'm going to try to teach myself how to socket a Honda OBD1 ECU. Now I know how to solder, but every time I've tried to solder on PC boards before, I've kind of gotten a little overzealous with it and kind of melted them. So we're going to try and not do that this time. The kit looks pretty straightforward. This is a P75, I believe, out of a, it's out of a Integra, my old Integra actually, because Shane has a P07, a chip P07 in it now. As you guys know, my Civic out there had a, you can't see it, had a P28, and I had a friend chip it for me, and I sold it because I now have a P28 with a Honda S300 in there. But as you guys also know, I'm kind of unemployed, so if I can teach myself to do these and sell these on eBay every once in a while, that will, you know, have some financial flow coming in, which is always good. So yeah, what we need to do this is I got some desoldering wick, tip tinner, a brand new soldering iron. This is at Walmart. It's only $10 and it's fine. This is what I did all the injector stuff for my Mega Square harness with. But 10 bucks, you get this, a spare tip, and a little tube of rosin core solder. That's a pretty good deal. We got this, I didn't get the Modus chip kit because I'm a cheap bastard and figured I might just be ruining this anyway. So I don't know what's going on with that chip, but yeah. So I'll kind of talk about what all we're doing in there once I get it opened up. But chipping a P75 is a little bit different than chipping a P28 or various other VTech ECUs, and I'll get into that in just a second. But I'm also going to live stream this because I need human contact. I'm driving myself insane here. Alright, so let's start here. I'll kind of explain to you what's different about this versus a P28. This, like I said, is a P75, B18, B1 non-VTech Integra ECU. So what you'll find when we open this up is right here is where you put your socket, and then there's a chip you add here, and then right there for the data logging and stuff like that. And also the kit comes with a new one of these capacitors, but they say only to change it if it's damaged, and that one's pretty tight in there and everything. So one thing you'll notice about P28 that this doesn't have is right under this J1, which you just jumper a wire to, or a zero resistance resistor, which I don't know why you do that, because that's just a wire. It doesn't resist. There's usually an R54, just like this R52 right here on this ECU. There's a on P28 there's an R54 right here that you put a resistor in, but this doesn't have one, so we're not putting a resistor there. They'll still work the same. And then to test out my soldering skills, we're going to take the chip that Grayson at Gap Tuning tuned for me with the Honda, with the Civic before I had the Honda, and yeah, then we'll go plug it into Civic and see if it'll start. Obviously we're not going to have any VTech. If it should still start, because the P75, once it's socketed, it'll essentially run like a P28, just like there's no VTech activation solenoid, so that would probably be funky if I tried to drive it. But we're not going to try and drive it, we're just going to start it, maybe see if the launch control is functioning so we know for sure it's reading the map right. So I'm going to start heating this soldering iron up and take the other side of this ECU off, fire up this live stream, and we're going to go to town on soldering, well, desoldering first. Could you upload your song Rio? I forget who you said made it. I couldn't find that version anywhere. It's by Midnight Civilian. You can actually find it on SoundCloud. Alright, so I desoldered the spot for J1. So now we're just gonna cut a leg off one of these resistors and use that as our jumper. Alright, the next thing we're doing is 74HC373. It's the little chip that goes right in front of the socket. And we have to keep in mind that the notch on that as well faces the plugs on the ECU. Alright guys, my P75 is successfully socketed. We got the chip in there, we got the data logging thingy, we got our jumper for J1, and everything else in except for that resistor that we talked about before. So let's grab the Honda's chip, which is up here, pop it in and go put it in the Civic and see if it works. Here it is, guys, the 220 wheel horsepower tune. Alright, our 220 horsepower chip is in there. We're gonna go put it in the Civic and see how it goes. Alright, let's get this Honda out of here. For some reason it only has an unlock button on one side. I should have just reached over here, but it's too little too late now. Alright, that is the B75 that I just finished soldering up. This is my turbo Honda Civic, and that is the chip for this very turbo Honda Civic. I hear fuel pump. That's good. Check engine light went away. I think I've done it. So we don't have limp mode, we don't have any issues like when we had the faulty chip in Shane's Integra. So I think we're good there. I think it should have launch control at like 3,500 RPM. It does indeed. Looks like I did it okay. Sick. Alright guys, just in time for it to stop raining. The Civic tested, everything works okay. So I'm gonna go take a couple pictures of this, list it on eBay, and this is gonna help us continue to buy parts for the Civic and pay my rent. So you guys saw the bigger turbo on the Civic there. We need an intercooler, and then we can take it out to gap tuning and get tuned again.